Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. The name of the song is Dominant by Punch Deck. Alright, so we're coming at you with a little bit of an attitude. Alright, so here's the deal. This channel is taking off in the last 3 days. It's just launching. So my goal for the end of this month, the end of this month, so it's October 4th now, was to get 3,700. In the last 3 days, we went from, I think it was 3,600 something, or maybe it was 3,725 or something like that, to 3,795. So I'm going to be 100 over probably in the next 2 hours. So this is the fastest launch that we've had in probably over a year. This one video, the one where I said God sent you to be their karma, that one video right now has over 40 subscribers, and that video has only been out I think for 2 days now. And that one video has the most watches in under 24 hours than any video that I've made this entire year. Alright, so here's some of the screenshots I took. So when it takes off, it's the #1 video in probably 30 days. It'll get those sparkly things that you just saw. And here's the subscribers as of right now. So I'm very happy about the success. But with success comes a little something else. So on that video, I've had 100% people saying this is the best video. One guy, what did he say? So his channel name is Demi Flame. I think that's how you say it. Demi La Flame. He said in 6 minutes in, and I can say this is better than the 5 million videos I've spent the past 2 years watching. So I've got quite a few other very positive comments on the video. People very much like this video, and this is the #1 video. It's had the most subscriptions, the most views, the most likes of any video I've made in over a year. Then what comes along is within an hour you get 2 posts that are extremely negative. Now I started to respond to one of the posts, but then I stopped and go, oh, wait a minute. I clicked on their channel and they had zero anything at all. I mean zero. No videos, no posts, no nothing. And then I noticed the date, and the date was literally this year, about a month and a week and a half ago. And they had no image, no face picture. They had no social media links to their website, to their Twitter, to their x.com, to anything at all. That's how you know it's a fake, or it's just someone who likes to harass people, or it's a bot. These are usually done by narcissists that like to argue and drain your energy, and I learned this about 3 or 4 years ago. So they purposely are trying to disagree with what you're saying just to get you into a back and forth battle, because it's a form of, #1, it delays your... So I just watched a video. Now, oh yeah, here's another thing. Look at this guy's channel. I looked at the name, it says Torn Nuggets, and I thought, oh, this guy's a goofball. And there's nothing wrong with being a goofball. I'm goofy a lot of the time. But I don't go onto other people's channel and start arguments that are ridiculous. So I just watched a video by this young lady, and she was talking about turn the other cheek, and she made a couple of points, and one that really stood out to me. So once she said that I absolutely agree with, and made a video about it way back 6+ months ago. So one of the things she said, she goes, as a woman, I don't want my man to turn the other cheek and let people humiliate him or walk all over him. And she goes, but that's not what that phrase or that saying means. And that's what a lot of Christians are taught. Oh, it means just let people treat you like shit. Absolutely not. That is absolutely not what it means. And if you let a narcissist treat you like shit, they're not going to back down. They're going to do it even more. It literally means just turn and walk away. Don't deal with them anymore. You're done with them. Boom. Close the door. Walk and block. Block them on everything. And if they come after you after that, then you go to the police. Then you report them. Then you get a restraining order, etc., etc. And then they're like, oh shit, homie's not playing. Like, no. Nowhere does it say I'm supposed to be nice to someone that's being mean to me. No, absolutely not. See, The Christian church, beyond a shadow of a doubt, has been breeding, making, training, and conditioning Christians to be weak people that are going to be walked over by the demonic narcissist. Why? Because the demonic narcissists are running the churches, period, end of sentence. There are a lot of bishops and pastors and priests saying the same thing, like, hey, our churches they've been overrun by demons. Bishop Mari Mari has said this multiple times. What I'm simply saying is Christians, or those who follow God, were always meant to be warriors. The idea of being overly polite, overly kind, being weak, that is so far away from the truth. I mean, take on the armor of God. That's armor. That's for war. I'm not knocking Christians or the church. What I'm saying is you have been misled and you have to wake up from this trance. The church has been a training ground to be a source of food for narcissists. They just walk in there and they pick as they please, and they know the Christians have been conditioned and trained to not see a narcissist, to not understand what a narcissist is, and to never stand up for themselves or fight back or get away. It's become a breeding ground for their source food energy. You. We get our spiritual energy from the manna from the heavens, as God says in the Bible. The narcissist can't do that, so they must get it off of you and suck the life force energy, literally mana, out of you. Stand up, say no, walk away. Stop letting them do this to you. Create boundaries, the Great Wall of China. So I made an extremely positive video that a lot of people like you guys all made positive comments. I've gotten, let me actually look at the like. It's the most likes I've gotten in less than 24 hours on any video that I've made for, I think possibly ever. So it's 31 hours and 15 minutes old. It already has 87 likes. It's probably going to be 100 in the next hour, maybe 2 hours. So by 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. So I tend to be an early riser most of the time, or a good chunk of the time. So I've been awake since 4 in the morning. And all of a sudden, I noticed somebody posted something. It was an attack. And so I went to read it. I started to respond, and then I was listening to what that girl was saying on her video about turn the other cheek. So her channel's name is her channel's name is Alice by the Palm. And the title of this video is Turn the Other Cheek, in quotations. Then it says they taught you wrong. So I said, I especially like the part about how they are trying to waste your time and distract you and take you off your purpose. The number one thing about narcissists, they are time wasters. If you are finding someone that is just dragging things on, lagging things, I'm gonna, someday, tomorrow, then it's next day, then it's next week, let's do it over the weekend. I'm telling you, if people put things off, I guarantee you they are a narcissist, and they are doing it to you on purpose because they know you have a purpose here. They are time wasters. That is their career. That is their job. That is their purpose here on the planet, to stop you from completing yours. So for those of you who are longtime followers of my channel, one of the prophecies that I made, it was about 2 months or 2.5 months before the coronavirus thing started to reveal its ugly head. I had said, I posted on my YouTube channel, and I also posted on one of my Facebook pages. It was Cracked Female Code, my dating and relationship coaching. And I had said there's something coming to the planet. It is coming fast, and it's literally going to go around the entire planet in a really high speed way. I didn't use the word high speed, but really fast. And lo and behold, and I also said it's going to affect all of us. And lo and behold, the coronavirus showed up a few weeks later, 6 weeks later, and boom, that thing. And I think I even said it's going to take off like fire, like a wildfire. Now, during the first few weeks, maybe it was the first 2 months, I remember getting this very clear vision / dream where it kept saying to me, it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction. I mean, it just said it over and over. In fact, there was a couple nights, maybe 3 nights in a row, where it kept saying, I'm like, what do you mean it's all a distraction? All of this stuff is time wasting, all this social media, all this, I'll give you an example of what are the distractions. They're distracting you from the P. Diddy thing, from the Epstein Island thing, from all of this stuff. They don't want you to know about that. Even those things are being used to be distractions to other things. on a personal basis, talking about me, they don't want you guys to hear these messages. Why do you think on my #1 video this year, of the entire year, so we're in October, we're getting towards the end of the year, my #1 video that's got the most subscribes, the most views, the most likes, the most comments is suddenly under attack, what, about 20 some hours later? Because in that video, I got a very, very clear message across, and they don't want you guys to see what's going on. So when I see a YouTube channel that was made 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago or even 9 months ago, yeah, or even all the way back to say 2020 or 2019, that's when all the bots started kicking in. That's when, the whole Corona, V thing came out. Like there was a doctor that I was following, like he was like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. And so I saved a couple of his videos because I was going to copy clips from it, and then I was going to re-upload it onto my channel. And when I went back to him the next day, they were deleted by YouTube. YouTube said, oh, well, his views are not following our whatever, our protocol. In other words, what we want you guys to believe. They're trying to force you to think, believe, and value what they want you to value and think and believe. Now, mind you, this is a doctor who got his doctorate degree from, I think it was from like Harvard or Stanford, some major medical university. His doctorate degree, and he specialized in viruses. He was so successful, he was the head of the Syracuse University's medical department, and they placed him the head of their, what do they call that? Of the coronavirus unit. He's the one who built it, designed it, he made the protocols, and hospitals and doctors throughout the world followed his protocols. So here he is making YouTube videos saying, no, that's not true. Viruses don't live in the sun for up to 15, 18 days. The sun kills it. That's why in the summer viruses go down and viruses go up in northern areas during the winter because it's colder. You don't get as much sun. The sun doesn't hit your skin, so it can't kill the viruses as much. Whereas the media was telling you, oh, it's in the air, it's flying around like flies and mosquitoes and bugs. And the doctor's like, look, it's not floating around in the air. If someone coughs at you and you're within, say, 3 to 5 feet, yeah. But walking on a trail, walking outside on a sidewalk, you're not going to catch it that way. And he was talking about all these false things that they were saying about it. Like, well, no, that's not true. And then he was doing the tissue samples of the lungs of different patients that died. And in this video, he said, it's really weird. It's as if they were on a jet plane high up in altitude and the door blew open and it exploded their lungs. In other words, their lungs were exploding. And he said they're not dying of the virus. They're dying for some reason, something's exploding their lungs. Yeah, it was the ventilators that they were shoving down their throats and turning on high. And that was one of the videos that got deleted. Now, watch this. Who do you think was deleting these videos and these posts? YouTube employees and Twitter employees. Yeah, these are people that have their bachelor's degree in computer science. These people are making $50,000 a year or whatever it was they're making. These are not medical professionals. These are not people that literally got their doctorate degree from a major medical university and specialized in viruses. These were people that had a 4-year degree in something other than medicine, and they were telling a doctor who not only specializes, not only got his doctorate degree in this specialty, he was the head of the New York of Syracuse University of this department. Like, this is what he does. He was like 40 some years old, so he's been doing it for over 20 plus years, not to mention all his medical training. But hey, he doesn't know what he's talking about, because somebody that has a bachelor's degree in computer science sitting behind a computer keyboard is going to tell him that he's wrong and that they're right. So here were these Twitter employees and YouTube employees, etc., sitting behind computer keyboards who have no education in this field, telling the medical professionals, even those who specialize in this very field, you're wrong, you can't post that, we're going to delete it. And eventually they deleted his channel. That's the insanity. That's the gaslighting. Narcissist abuse that they put us through for years. So here's what I'm trying to say overall. If you get somebody commenting to you and they don't have their picture on their channel, Number two, when you click on their like more button to go to their description, if they don't have links that lead to their personal pages, websites, social media sites, and if you do find one, see how old it is. Is it 20 years old? Is it 15 years old? Or is it 6 months old? Is it a year and a half old? And how many posts do they have on there? A lot of times they'll have like one post or none. So when these people come onto my channel and all of a sudden they're attacking, these are either bots or these are narcissists that just want to start an argument because they want to waste my time. No picture. It's an early date from last month or 2 months ago. There's no information. They didn't fill anything out. They have no links to their personal sites with their pictures there. There's no accountability. They just come in and attack. They don't even say anything positive about what you said. I'm done as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you don't count. So what I do is I end up blocking them. Then they have to make another account. Sure, it only takes about 10 minutes to make, but it only takes me literally one button to push to say bye. It's a lot easier for me to block. Another thing is they come off as very left brain, logical, linear. It's like, oh, you got to follow the rules. The left brain is the rule-oriented brain. It's about rules, structure, and organization. And that's what it processes through. It literally takes any information, words, body language, images, and it processes it through structure, through logic, through rules. So even though Jesus kept saying over and over, it's about love, and even the centurion said, well, I gave away all my things. Now what I do? He says, love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul, and love each other as you'd love yourselves. And yet, they turned that into a rule. Why? Because they're coming from the left brain that looks at everything, processes everything through rules. Like, okay, so that's a rule. No, it's not a rule. It's an understanding. Even the 10 Commandments, God didn't want to make him. He made him because mankind demanded it. The whole group's like, well, give us some rules to live by. He's like, love each other. Be understanding. Be compassionate. Be kind. So it's the same old story where Jesus was arguing with the Sadducees and Pharisees, and he goes, you fools. What did he say? He essentially said something like, you measure everything down, to the very not the microscope, but the perfection. He goes, and you're missing the bigger picture. It's about kindness. It's about forgiveness. It's about compassion. It's about understanding. And it's like they couldn't get that. Well, no, it's about rules, and if you don't follow the rules, we're going to punish you blindly. Now, there's something this young lady said in her video, the one I mentioned, that really kind of blew me away because someone said this to me a long time ago. So here's what it is. She said, I also like the part about how you say, so you will never be one of them. In other words, turn the other cheek. She talked about Joseph and how his brothers sold him into slavery and how he went into the slavery and how he became friends with the prisoners and stuff, but he never became like them. Okay, and that's what she had said was, you basically will be put in places where people are beneath you. Now, I don't normally like to say that. It's a kind of a new concept for me to even think that way. My ex-girlfriend said something to me in my late 20s. She goes, you know what your problem is, Uncle? What's that? She goes, you're around people that are not at your level. I'm like, what are you talking? And she was talking about herself too. I go, what are you talking about at my level? Because I always looked at people as equals to me. She goes, these people aren't educated like you. These people aren't smart like you. These people can't think the way you do. And they don't have the awareness that you have. These people are not like you. So like Joseph, who was sold into slavery, was sent to prison in another country. He never fit in with them. Because one of the things he did was he turned the other cheek. He just walked away and wouldn't get involved in the back and forth cat and mouse. Or what's the word? Like cat, like cattiness, the kind of backstabbing, the talking, all the BS. It's a waste of time, and all they're trying to do is just waste your time. They're trying to distract you from your greater purpose here on the planet. Honestly, even with this narcissist abuse stuff, I would really not let anything distract you from your purpose. You got the whole thing going on in Israel again. I mean, ever since I was a child, this was going on. When I was a little child, 3, 4, 5 years old, you had Iran and Iraq and Israel and everyone bombing everywhere in the 7-Day War, Egypt, all this stuff. Nothing's changed. Now, do I believe this war that's happening right now is part of the Bible? Oh, absolutely. This is a big thing. Am I worried? Hell no. I don't care. Now, what I mean about that is not that I don't care about the people or about the countries or about the war, but this is not what I'm here for. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to stay focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. I am telling you, it is all a distraction to waste your time, to waste your life. If you want to be a professional bowler and it is in your heart, get out there and get on it. If you want to start a business, forget about television, forget about the news in the Middle East, forget about the news in Russia. Get on whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. All of this stuff is a distraction to keep you from living your life. You got caught up in the floods in Florida? Well, sell your home, sell your property. If you can't sell it, then move away, find another place to live, and get back on track. Period. So turning the other cheek is not a matter of letting them walk all over you. In fact, quite the opposite. It's not letting them walk on you. Turning the other cheek really is so you don't become one of them. So you don't get caught up in the time-wasting arguments. They are either-or people. They get off on that. That's their mentality. It's the way they think. It's how they suck the life force out of you. So it's a matter of being like, number one, see, here's the deal. They know that you're not one of them. That's why they're trying to bring you down. It's the whole crabs in the bucket theory, or philosophy, or story, however you say it. Is when one of the crabs finally gets their arm up around the rim, the top rim of the bucket, and starts to pull itself out, the crab right beneath him grabs his back legs and pulls him back down. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to be stuck just like them. So one of the things these people do, narcissists, etc., negative people, is that they're trying to purposely limit you just like them. Because either they don't have a purpose, or they're not aware of their purpose, or they are aware of it and they're just too lazy to take any action towards it. So here you are going to seminars, getting certified, trained, taking training after training, reading books, practicing techniques with people, or whatever it is that you do, and they're like, "Oh man, shit, I could be doing that, but I'm not. I'm choosing to sit down instead of when I come home from work reading for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to grab a beer and sit down and watch some television for an hour, and then I'm going to go have some dinner, and then I'm going to get back on the television until I fall asleep." These are people that are just not taking action towards their dreams and goals or their purpose. And because of that, you kind of make it stand out because you're going after it. You're moving forward. You're taking step after step after step, and they're doing nothing. So out of their own laziness, it makes them feel bad, and it makes them look bad. Now the thing is, like, they'll try to reverse blame shift and go, "Well, you're making me look bad." I'm like, well, "What are you talking about? Why? What am I doing? I didn't say anything. I'm not talking behind you." No. It's just that you're working so hard. You're making me. Yeah, which it basically there's contrast, because it's like, yeah, you're not. You're all talk. You're not taking action towards your goals. Instead, you're walking around trying to bring people back and stop people from taking action. So here's the deal. If you come onto my channel, you're more than welcome. But if you're just going to attack, like literally, if you're just going to be Mr. Negative and Mrs. Negative and say no, not, can't, won't, shan't, you're not supposed to do this, and oh yeah, this is what one of the guys said, "Well, you're using the wrong vernacular. You can't say it using that word, and you can't say it in that way." Well, let me tell you something. Just because you don't like people speaking Spanish, that's too bad. Just because you don't like the Latin root language, that's too bad. Just because you don't like the Greek language, the Hebrew language, that's too bad for you. These people are essentially the people that are saying, "Look, man, use the word hello. I don't like the word hola." Well, that's too bad for you. What they're saying is, say it the way I say it, use the accent that I use, and stay in the box, fit in the box like the rest of us. The problem is, the box is limiting everyone from knowing the truth. I'm busting through the box. I'm shredding the box. I'm destroying the box. I'm saying screw the box, because there's a whole lot more truth out there in reality than this false reality of, "Oh, I read words on a piece of paper." Yeah, and you didn't look up the actual original language in which it was spoken in, and you didn't look up the actual meaning / definition of what it actually meant, and therefore you're deaf, dumb, and you're blind. So if you come onto this channel, you're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Negative, and that's all you're going to do is tear me apart or tear my video down that everybody likes. Guess what? You're going to get blocked. There was a realization I had about 2.5 years ago, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. So I started talking about the Bible, bringing up Bible verses, reading them verbatim, then looking up the original language and what the actual teaching meant in that language, etc., when it was originally written in the Bible. And it dawned on me, why don't I do this more often? How come I'm not speaking about the Bible? Why am I not speaking about God, about Jesus, etc., etc.? You want to know what it was? In the past, when I was a kid, teenager, in my 20s, I was surrounded by Christians that would essentially refuse to let me speak about the Bible. It was all, you don't know what you're talking about, keep your mouth shut, don't talk about the Bible. And I'm looking back now going, those were narcissists. When I became an associate pastor, my family lost their shit. One of my uncles flipped out, and I mean flipped out. My mom flipped out. My brother, and who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? Come back down to our level. You got to quit that. The mind games were relentless. I went back to Pastor Rex and said, hey, here's what's happening as well. You know, Michael, these people, they're not spiritual. They're not on the level. They're not. And I was a young man, so I was like, oh, okay, but it didn't really make me feel any better. And years later, I looked back and I realized one of the reasons why I finally left the church was there was a group of people, not just a group, but of different people in different parts of the church that were just constantly giving me dirty looks, giving me the evil eye, would say some of the most fucked up things to me. And I remember one time I was in front of Pastor Rex and he just kind of said, well, you know, Michael, you got to understand they're this and that. And I'm like, no, that's bullshit. So on the one hand, we're supposed to talk about Jesus, but when you do, they're like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. So it's like, wait, what? And I realized that about 2+ years ago when I started making these videos about God, about Jesus. Like, these people didn't want me to speak about God, didn't want me to speak about the truth of Jesus. And if you did, they wanted you to say it inside the box. It's got to be limited. It's got to be very narrow. It's got to be in this tiny little precise way. But what if that way is wrong? What if somebody needs to hear hola instead of hello because they'll understand it better? One guy lost his shit on my channel this morning about me using the word karma and God in the same sentence. So what works for you? Karma, mana, energy, or spirit? Or energetic? Because it's the same damn thing. Hola means hello, whether you like it or not. And I am done being limited by anybody trying to say, oh, you can't say it that way. You got to say it this way. No, I don't. I don't have to say it that way. I don't have to believe what you believe. I don't have to see things the way you see things. Because clearly, if you guys saw things in the rightful, truthful way, then all the churches of the planet, at least the Christian churches, and I'll even leave out the Catholic Church, at least the Christian churches would all have the same beliefs and agreements, and they would agree on everything. But they don't. You guys don't agree on anything. The church right down the street, one block, less than a block, will sit there and argue. And I'm talking about a Christian church. I'm not talking about Seventh-day Adventist. I'm not talking about Mormon. I'm not talking about Catholic. I'm talking Christian churches. Nobody agrees with nobody. So guess what? I'm not listening to you. And guess what? You don't have to listen to me either. The one thing I've said openly multiple times, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to believe a single thing that I say. Nothing. I don't care. Just have an open mind and listen to understand. If you understand what I'm saying and you don't like it or you don't agree with it, I'm okay with that. Free will. You're free to come, you're free to go. You're free to listen, you're free to go. It doesn't matter. And it's okay. I'm completely okay if someone goes, okay, so you said A, B, and C, and what you mean is E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, well, I don't believe you, or I don't agree with you. It's like, cool, awesome. I'll give you a hug, I'll give you a handshake. Hey, let's go get some lunch. There's no problem. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. I'm totally okay with that. But if you're going to come onto my channel and just sit there and tear me down, say I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, then get off the channel. So why are you here? especially if you have no intention of opening your mind and learning a single thing. I mean, I tell you what, I don't go to other channels and do that. I don't sit there and go, I'm going to go to a channel that I don't agree with. I don't like this person. I'm just going to sit there and argue. Wow, what a waste of your life. So one of the tricks that narcissists will use, because this was used on me about 2 weeks ago, like, oh, did I trigger you? Did I trigger you? I'm like, no, I'm actually feeling very empowered right now. Like, okay, like right now on this channel, I'm feeling extremely empowered in this video. Like, if you guys think I'm triggered, like, no. If anything, yeah, I'm triggered into power. Because it's like for the first time in my life, I'm just laying it out saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is what my channel's about. And if you're not okay with that, I'm okay with you leaving. In other words, you're free to go. I don't really care. So someone had posted something on a video about a week or 10 days ago, and I had very positive, now listen closely, very positively responded. And it sent me into this real powerful state. And I was like, no, you're not quite getting it. And I started to break it down. And she goes, oh, did I trigger you? Did I trigger you? I'm like, no, you're not triggering me at all. Like, I'm actually like feeling very, empowered about responding to what you said. So I'm kind of like, what's going on? So here's the deal. Whenever you're in a very happy, enlightened, empowered, passionate state, they're going to use that, go, oh, did I trigger you? And it's like, wait, yeah, trigger me? What do you? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to now connect that positive state that you're in is actually negative. It's just another mind game. So when I caught that this time around, I'm like, oh my God, my mom used to do that to me all the time. Whenever I came home from football practice or we won a game and I was in a real positive state, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Are you upset? Did somebody upset you? Did someone trigger you? And I'm like, no, why? So what happened is over a period of time, every time I was in a positive, uplifted, empowered state, it was always, oh, what's wrong? Are you upset? Did someone do something? Did someone trigger you? Did someone upset you? It would cause me to question like, oh, is this bad? Oh, or sometimes you go, oh, what are you so angry for? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm in a really good mood. I remember one day I had to literally verbally say, Mom, I'm in a really good mood. No, you're not. You're upset. You're angry. I'm like, no, I'm not. Here's my point. That's part of the game. If you're in a really empowered state, happy, uplifted, joyful, whatever positive state you're in, and someone questions it, either they question and say, oh, what are you so upset about? Are you angry? Are you this? Are you that? Or if they go, oh, did I trigger you? And you're like, what? Immediately walk away from that person. Get that person out of your life immediately. That is a narcissist. That is a mind game. Here's another one. All right, this just happened to me recently. There's someone who had befriended me or acted like they befriended me, and every now and then they do that back and forth thing where they don't want to talk to me, they're mad at me, they give me dirty looks, and I figured this out a little while back, so she came back and tried to be nice to me again, and then I waved her. I was driving by, I was like, hey, how's it going? I waved, and she just gave me this because I was in a really good mood, like I was having one of the best days probably of this year, like I was in a great mood, and she literally looked at me, and then she turned her back on me, and like, oh, I see what's going on. She's trying to go, oh, you're happy, and I'm going to ruin your shit. In other words, connect negativity to his positive state. So one thing that I've learned, oh, I'm done. So the minute she did that, I realized I get what you're doing. I see you again. In fact, I saw it a while back, and then you love bombed me again. Okay, we're done. No more, ever again. Done. I won't even look at this person. I'll be cold, I'll be curt, I'll be short, and I'll just keep, nope, I'm fine, gotta go, bye. And you know what? It makes you feel good. Because normally you try to, oh, are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? No, you never did anything wrong, and they know it. They're just trying to make you feel like shit. When you literally learn to go cold on people and you don't engage with that stuff, you just ignore the fuck out of it, it makes them feel bad because they're like, fuck, they're on to me and I'm being a negative, person. Yep, you sure are, and I'm telling you what, it boosts your self-esteem like you would not imagine. If someone is looking for a reason or making up a reason to make you look bad or to hurt you and to say you're a bad person, bad you, screw them, cut them off. That is a narcissist. You do not want anyone in your life who is looking for a reason to get mad at you. Period. End of sentence. These are self-esteem boosters. These are confident boosters. Like when people do this to me, it's like, boom, there's another booster. It's like taking an injection of confidence and feeling good about myself. Bye. You ever wonder why some people are just so comfortable and confident and light? It's because they figured the game out. It's like, oh, you're one of those people? Yep, cutting you off. It's like I put the walls up to these people, and the inner spirit inside you starts to feel good. Anyone who's trying to make you feel bad, bring you to a negative state, or take a positive state and say, oh, that's negative, or, just play mind games, cut them off completely, and I promise you your inner spirit will appreciate it greatly. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Remember, turn the other cheek and kick some ass. Followers of Christ were always meant to be warriors. They were always meant to be strong. This is not an easy journey. Choose to be strong, and I promise you, you will find your happiness. God bless you guys. Remember to kick ass, have fun, and be happy. If you like this video, please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, there is a donation button. It's a PayPal link right there in the description box. God bless you guys. I'll see you soon.